Ramel, just how would you assess the receiver room coming out of fall camp and going into the opener, and just kind of what do you want to see from y'all's group on Saturday?
I feel like we're more mature. We're more like a professional group. We come to work every single day. I expect us to go out there and just do what we do. It's no pressure. Just go out there and play like how we practice.
Ramel, what have you learned about the Virginia defense ahead of the opener?
You talking about like from their spring game or like just overall?
Going into the game Saturday. What about their defense?
Oh yeah, I mean they like to play single high. They like to play man 3. They like to mix in quarters, like any other defense. But most time they like to play man, so that's good.
Ramel, I know you're not a real talkative guy, but for those younger players that maybe were in your position where you were a couple of years ago, do you ever talk to those guys about, hey, look at me, I stayed patient, and, I'm getting my moment now. You got to stay patient too, like for those younger guys that haven't necessarily cracked the starting lineup yet?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't like just say it, but if they need kind of encouragement, I'll tell them like everything happened for a reason. Like you might be doing this because God probably setting you up for something different. You probably got to work even harder to get what you need. So, but they understand that, and it's no egos, nothing like that. So I feel like they'll be successful, like knowing that.
Well, last time we talked to you, you said that Nathan caught like more than 22,000 passes off the jugs. Just how impressive is that for a new guy to come in to work that hard, and kind of how have you seen him progress going into his freshman season?
I mean, yeah, that's real impressive coming in as a young guy, then outworking, all the older guys outworking me. But that's good for him. But I hope he's real successful like as it goes.
In team settings, who are some of the DBs on your team that you've gone up against that maybe have given you the tough time or have impressed you the most in going up against them?
Oh yeah, I like Nico, Gabe, Ma, BT. Like it's a whole bunch of guys. But each day we go against each other like we're trying to get better, and we go against each other a lot. So like it's a lot of tendencies that we have to show. So you got to be that much detailed to get open. So I feel like it's good. It's good going against them.
Ramel, obviously you're a guy who worked hard, for several years and really hard for a couple of years to kind of get to break out and kind of have a role. Is it the same motivation now to take things to another level for yourself, or do you still push yourself to that same level?
Yeah, it's actually a greater level because I left a lot of plays really out there that I could have made and kept the team. So it's like I got to kind of like pay back on like everything I missed. So it's like I got to do that plus some, so like we can win. But it's nothing like different that I'm going to do. I'm just going to do the same thing, be consistent with what I've been doing, and yeah.
What have you seen from Caleb and Chaz this fall camp? Some of the coaches have talked about the steps that they took. What did you see from them from your vantage point?
Caleb actually grew a lot in his game. He's more mature. He's more patient. He's not just rushing everything. Like he has tempo in his routes and his releases, everything, and it's all coming together for him. I feel like once he gets in, once he plays, like it's no drop off. Like or Chad, like they gonna come in. People might think like, oh, they just the backup, but like they really not. They ready to play, so that's good. That's good for the coaching staff too, like knowing like you got a backup that's ready to play too. So.
Talking about those two guys, obviously you were a guy that had to stay ready for your opportunity last year. Do you talk to them about what you went through and kind of having to be ready because you never know when someone might get hurt and you have to go in and play a lot?
Yeah, not like necessarily like straight like that, but if I see them like maybe slacking off, I'd be like, you got to prepare like you the starter because you don't never know what can happen because sometimes they might be like laughing or something, something like that. But we got to lock in. But there's nothing wrong with that because they still young, but still like putting in their head like you got to really like lock in because you don't know what can happen, and you might get 80 plays, and you don't want to go out there and not be ready for your opportunity. So just keeping that in their head.
Anything else? All right. Thanks, Ramel.
Yep.
Thanks, everybody. All right.